And then we get, oh God, the Hart Foundation versus Greg Valentine and Honky Tonk Man with Jimmy Hart. Hart Foundation are great. Honky Tonk and Greg Valentine are not great. I was thinking about this. He's always been a bad guy, the Honky Tonk Man. He's dressed as Elvis. And, I mean, Elvis was dead by this point. I think he died in about, 79, 80, something like that. And I was thinking, if you work it back, it's like there being a wrestler today who's middle-aged, dressed as, like, Kurt Cobain. And everyone, when he comes out, they're going, boo! Kill yourself. Really strange how that time telescoping works.
Because people love Elvis. Like, name someone who actually hates Elvis.
The Honky Tonk Man.
The Honky Tonk Man hates Elvis.
And he hates him because he's better than Elvis, is his basic thing. I mean, he's the only person. But the crowd are like, oh, here he comes, that crappy Elvis. You know, what?
Well, so maybe it is like, it's not Elvis he's playing. I guess he's playing an Elvis impersonator, and they're, by their very nature, a bit shit. So, like, maybe...
There should be someone who's like an Adele personator now, so we could sort of go, can lightning strike twice? Will this happen again? Oh, fucking Adele.
Boo, Lily Allen.
Boo.
Boo,
We love
Lily
Kate
Allen.
Nash. Yeah.
Oh. She was in a wrestling program, wasn't she?
She's been doing Glow. Which is very good. The original Glow, unwatchable.
Jimmy Hart's back.
Yep.
I think he might be the hardest working man in these WrestleManias. He seems to be involved in every last bloody scene.
He really does. He does work very hard. He's also sort of not needed in quite a lot of them. But God bless him. I went to a WrestleMania once, and he was the first person I saw backstage.
Magical.
And he didn't even appear on the WrestleMania. So he
just went along for a ride.
20 years later, he's still there. You want me to do anything? No, we'll be all right. Well, I'll just hang around. Sure, you do that.
I brought my tie.
That'll be brilliant. Yeah.
Inexplicably, in the middle of all his wrestling, Mark, there's a charity fun run going on.
Yep, that's right.
That's never explained.
No, and no wrestlers are taking part in. No actual wrestlers.
One wrestler is taking part.
You say wrestler. One man.
One man who's on the payroll of a wrestling company.
That's right. Introduced by Alfred Hayes.
So, exactly. Nothing better. Mr. Fuji, bad at doing anything. Lord Alfred Hayes, bad at doing anything. Two rank amateurs interacting. They thought, right, how can we make this brilliant?
Yeah.
Put them both together.
I think it's that thing of going, we've got to put this big show on for everyone. But guys in the back room, let's have a little something for us. Right?
Look, something for Daddy.
We're going to put Lord Alfred Hayes and Mr. Fuji together. They're going, you can't. We can.
This is like Andre versus like, you two.
It's the dream match, but on the flip side. And annoyingly, the concept of it is bad, and somehow, because the concept is bad, they don't ruin it.
No, they can't ruin it. It's impossible. There's a charity fun run. There's a load of people actually doing what seems to be a proper, legitimate charity fun run.
They look
wherever the hell it is.
Like runners and
like runners. And Mr. Fuji is dressed like Mr. Fuji, his knockoff James Bond character. Oddball. And he gives himself a few...
I should say, it's odd job. I'm aware that I've made some mistakes in the earlier episodes, and I'm not... And I said oddball there as a joke, and I thought, someone will go, it's odd job. And I know it's odd job, and I know actually...
Right now, we're going to take you to his lordship, Alfred Hayes. Let's go to Alfred.
Hello, everybody. We're here on the boardwalk at Atlantic City. We're here on the boardwalk at Atlantic City. We're here on the boardwalk at Atlantic City. On the boardwalk, on the boardwalk, on the boardwalk. We're here on the boardwalk at Atlantic City.
Mr. Fuji operated a training gym.
Did he?
Later in life.
What
was he training? It's like Lord Alfred Hayes starting in like a talent agency or something.
Or
how to read an autocue.
A wrestling interviewer school. He's Fuji comes out and they've got this terrible thing about going, you're going to take part, aren't you, Mr. Fuji?
That's a really good impression of Lord Alfred Hayes.
Go and take part in the running.
Hello, I hardly opened my mouth in any of these interviews.
Tense, very tense. Fuji, he says something indecipherable. Absolutely no help at all.
Hey, Mr. Fuji, come here, tell me. When did you enter this race and why?
I entered just now to show our people that Mr. Fuji is in good, superior shape for 5K race.
And the best thing about it is it goes on too long.
Yeah.
And I can't work out what he says. And Alfred nods. And at the end, Alfred goes, I'm going to make a judgment call here. Going to ask him another question.
Yeah. Has this gone on too long? We're about to start the race.
Yep.
The WWE have managed to shoehorn themselves into this situation.
Yep.
Is this allowed?
And then Fuji drones on. And then there's this sort of, he has to do a jog in front and he cheats by going off before the whistle, gets about 2 metres ahead of everyone else. And then they run past and then you meet him at the end.
Yeah.
And normally you'd meet him at the end and you'd go, you finished suspiciously quickly.
Yeah, and then the taxi driver will wave at him or something. It's never...
You're the greatest booker this company
There's
never
no
had.
gag. There's no gag there.
They go, how was it? He goes, yeah, it's good. It's actually sort of difficult. And he's not been running. He's not broken a sweat. And he breaks a sweat normally when he's standing there.
Mr. Fuji, could I get a word with you, please, Mr. Fuji?
Yes.
Congratulations, you finished that 5 kilometre race. That was very, very strong indeed. And you proved to everybody here that indeed you are in great shape.
Superior shape, I tell you, Lord Hayes.
And he goes, yeah, it was really good, actually. Yeah, I had a really good run. And he goes, oh, well done you. Well done. That's really... What are we doing? What are we doing? We know what the joke is.
What I like about it, their purgatory was that they would have to have stood, driven actually to the finish line and wait until it all finished.
It takes place on the Atlantic City boardwalk. They will have had somewhere that served beer there. The two of them would have been having a wonderful time. Although, Christ knows, if Fuji ordered, you're not going to get the right order. If Alfred Hayes orders, you're not going to get the right order.
No, seeing Alfred Hayes in sunlight is interesting because his hair dye kind of 3 different colours. It's like the tail end of a raccoon, or a red fox or something. I don't know, like a red panda. You know, like a red panda's tail. It's like black and white and red. It's all different colours, and where he's got hot in the sun, it's turned a bit black, and it's clearly staining his head. Oh,
I should imagine it is probably something illegal.
It's got everything.
It's a toupee that's like an endangered animal that you could get in the 80s. I'm wearing a red panda on my head. Good, well done. Put him on telly.
Hey-oh! Yeah!
TNT Revisited
Hey-oh!
continues.
Excuse me.
But the main warm-up for the next match is Run DMC, inexplicably.
Do you know, I can only think that they were booked to do America the Beautiful and everyone was too panicky about whether they were going to turn it political.
Yes.
Because they're the big musical act here.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't open it.
No.
Very
I
strange.
think they must have just been too controversial at the time.
Well, no, but they wrote... I think they did a song about wrestling, didn't they?
Well, it's called WrestleMania Rap. You say rope, Pete.
Have you got the lyrics there?
Say ho, say ho, ho, ho.
Oh.
Scream, say mania, say wrestle, say mania, it don't stop. Ladies and gentlemen, Run DMC Live.
Somebody say ho! Say ho! Ho! Say ho! Say mania! Wrestle! Say mania!
It sounds like it could be a generic thing they do, and
They've just added the word wrestle and mania.
once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've thrown it in. There's a weird thing where you suddenly see Donald Trump sitting in that front row when Run DMC are performing around him. And I was thinking, there's a strange set of circumstances that you probably will never see again.
If you're going to pick out who was going to be the president, you'd probably go with Jam Master Jay.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Jam Master Jay is wearing a necklace that's thicker than Hercules' chain.
Is it?
It's really thick. It's like,
Would have
wow,
been
that's thick.
Really good if Hacker would come out and broken the keyboard over his head. But this is a strange one. It's just in the wrong place. And the other thing is the WWF, they don't really support it. They don't give it the support it needs.
No.
So Gorilla, he just comes back and he says like he's like praising it. He goes, a little bit of that went a long way with me.
I would have preferred a little bit of that as the subtext rather than all of it.
I can stomach almost none of that. Wonderful stuff, guys.
They're just talking. They're just talking.
A little bit of that went a long way with me, I'll tell you that, but you really ate it up, Jess.
I got into that, Gorilla. I like that.
I'm sure you did. Coming up in mere moments, folks, an unprecedented 3 against 2 for the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team title.
And then we get more Fuji.
Fuji! Fuji with his top off.
It's Mr. Fuji and the Powers of Pain versus WWF Tag Team Champions Demolition. What's weird about this match is this is the Road Warriors, who are the big famous tag team of the 80s,
Right.
two big, painted, really strong guys who don't sell for anyone. This is a match between the two main knockoffs of them.
Right.
Demolition steal their act. The Powers of Pain, who have a feud with them in NWA in the years before this, they steal their act as well.
Yes.
So you've got the two premier tribute acts to the Road Warriors having a match here. Warlord and the Barbarian are the Powers of Pain. The Barbarian, not a bad wrestler.
I think it's Warlord I didn't like more.
Warlord
doesn't look very good.
A Warlord is clearly on steroids throughout much of his career, especially when he had a solo career.
Right.
His career ended in about 1996 when he got rear-ended by a Pizza Hut van, hurt his back. But he came back after trying to get an insurance payout or getting an insurance payout. He came back as a bodyguard to people like 50 Cent.
We just got to the hotel. We got 50 into the room. Out of the ring. We were just getting ready to set outside. Also, some gunshots went off in the distance, shooting at us. You could hear it. So we just all got behind the SUV that was bulletproof. Got behind that and just waited out. They shot, I think there was a total of 15 shots they took. You know, they shot it with handguns, so it was a ways away. So, you know, it's not so accurate with handguns, you know.
He is Dave Batista's best wrestler of all time.
Really?
Dave Batista is the only person who's ever said, my favourite wrestler of all time is the Warlord. No one's ever said it, ever. He is appalling. He's so bad. And yet Dave Batista's like, that guy is great. Why is he good? And he was like, because he looked so good. Wow. Bit more to it than that, Dave.
No, like Dave's all right, isn't he? I've interviewed him before, and he's he's so well.
Did he pick you up and hug you?
He
Say it'll be all right.
He did it. I'd love that. But he's a gigantic man, and like I mentioned when we went to the Ribera Steakhouse, he was like, I can't believe you knew that. And he was like really impressed with my basic wrestling knowledge. And I hope the rest of your day goes well with the interviews and stuff. This is the start of your UK.
Hopefully, it's all uphill from here.
How dare you, sir?
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah. I didn't mean that.
There's a strange fact about this match which has come up recently, which is all 7 people who are involved in this match are involved in a case which is suing the WWE. It's a suit that was filed in Connecticut where 53 former wrestlers, many of whom had WWE experience. They've said that the company didn't publicise a link between the time they spent in the ring and the increased likelihood of them getting CTE, which is a progressive degenerative brain disease. Now, the WWE have always said that this class action it has no validity. The rulings so far have generally favoured WWE. There are also a number of people on this who have wrestled for, 30 years and spent 2 years in WWE who are now saying there's this. So it's an untested thing, but this is the reason all these people, with the exception of Mr. Fuji, have been kept out of the Hall of Fame as a result. So no demolition in the Hall of Fame, no Powers of Pain. Mr. Fuji is there. He went in before his death. Post-death, he's been added to this class action. So it's a sad thing in a way because they will become a sort of missing generation, I think. The problem is if you sue WWE in what's seen as being a spurious case, they aren't going to be able to, greet you with open arms.
I mean, I guess if you sue them for any reason, they would no be adding you into the Hall of Fame.
No, they're not over keen. They're not over keen.
Cream is nice too.
What is this?
Well,
Look at that little. Look at
Where?
right there. Yeah, Alfred. Oh, God. How was the cake, Alfred?
delicious. Oh, look at that.
Get him a plate.